Hello, and welcome to this 20-minute yin practice to undo a day at your desk. Now, of course, you can do this practice any time of day. It's a great practice to do after you've been sitting for a while, and it really helps to open up the whole front of your body. So, always a good idea to have some cushions or pillows with you, and have a strap handy as well. You could also have a belt or a scarf or a towel that will work in place of the strap. And we'll get started laying down on your front. So you can come to lay on your mat with your head towards the front of your mat, your feet pointing back. And stack your hands to make a little pillow for your forehead. And just take the time you need to settle in. It might feel nice to move your hips around or bring your feet a little wider or a little closer together. And once you are settled here, seal your lips and start to breathe more deeply in and out through your nose. So use these first few breaths to draw your focus inward. Notice how it feels to breathe into your belly, how it feels for your lower back to rise and fall each time you breathe. Keep your breath nice and steady. Slide your right arm into a cactus position, turn your right ear to your mat. And then lift up the left side of your body any amount. So you're working into this stretch in the right side of your chest. You may feel it more in your armpit. An option to lift to your left fingertips and a little bit pull your chest towards your left hand. Breathe fully here. Lengthen out your exhales. And gently come back to center, and we'll switch sides. Cactus your left arm, turn your left ear to your mat, right hand under your right shoulder, and lift up your right side. Just keep the left side of your head resting to the ground so you can soften your neck. And you can lift to your right fingertips and pull your chest a bit towards your right hand. Lengthen out your exhales. And gently bring yourself back to center. And hands under your shoulders. Gently press up to a tabletop position. So on your hands and knees, we'll come through a few rounds of cat and cow in your spine. As you inhale, lower your belly, draw your chest forward. As you exhale, round your back. So nice and steady with the movement. So keep going at your own pace. Try not to speed it up too much though, right? If there are other variations on this movement that feel good for you, maybe pause in one place or add a little side to side movement. Be curious about how that feels and add those extra movements in if it feels good for you. And then pause at neutral. We'll bring this to a heart melting pose and bring your hands out in front of you. So eventually your forehead will rest onto the ground, or you could use a cushion underneath your forehead or underneath your chest for some extra support. You might feel best with your hips sliding back a little bit, ideally not all the way to your heels. And then allow the center of your chest to really soften down towards the ground. I'm just adding a slightly different variation. Keep everything else the same and just make some fists with your hands. Turn the pinky finger side of your fist to the ground and shuffle your elbows in a little bit as you do that. So it just creates a slightly different rotation at your shoulder joint, so it's opening in a different way. If that doesn't feel good for you, you can always come back into the other variation. We just have about another 3 or 4 breaths here. And to come out of this, we'll come to a Sphinx. Rock yourself forward until you come to land onto your front. And keep your fists in that same direction so the pinky finger side of your fists are down. Allow the front of your hips to settle down towards the ground, and ever so slightly here, press down into your elbows and pull your elbows back, your chest forward. And then keeping your elbows as pivot points. Keep everything else the same. Just lift your forearms slightly and pivot your forearms out to the sides. Watch that it's not your wrists doing the bend. You want to keep your wrists quite neutral and really press your whole forearms out to the side so it's actually rotating your upper arm bone. This fires up a little bit through the back of your shoulder joint, some deep muscles that help to keep your shoulder really nice and stable. So stay with it, press your forearms out, pull your chest forward. Couple more breaths. And then gently bring your forearms to center and lower yourself down onto your front. Stack your hands, make a little pillow for your forehead. And take a couple breaths low into your belly. And just gently sway your hips a little side to side. And then stay on your front. Just bend your right knee, curl your heel in towards your bum. Now when you do this, just watch that your hips don't start to lift away from the ground. Instead, squeeze your right glutes and press the front of your hips down. Then bring your right arm back and catch the top of your right foot. Now if your foot isn't within reach, that's why you have a strap handy. So you can wrap the strap around your right foot and then kind of bring it up and loop it over your shoulder so that you can lay here holding onto that stretch with very little effort. So you can use your strap or you can use your hand, it doesn't really matter. Your target area is in through the front of your right thigh. So that's where you want to feel the stretch. So you may need to keep a little bit of activity here, just squeezing your glutes just enough to keep the front of your hips planted on the ground. Soften your jaw, soften your tongue. And be sure you're still breathing fully here. Okay, Very gently release whatever grip you have on your right foot and extend your right leg down onto the floor. Just pause for a moment between sides. You can sway your hips a little side to side, roll out your shoulders, or move your head around. And then we'll just switch sides. So bend your left knee and squeeze your glutes so that the front of your hips stay pressing down. Then you can either reach your left hand back and catch the top of your foot, or you can wrap the strap around your foot. And even if you can reach your foot, sometimes it feels more comfortable to hold on to the strap, to use the strap. So you're always welcome to try it out. If it works, keep it. If it doesn't, you can let it go and use your hand again. Again, this does require that little bit of effort, firing up your glutes to keep the front of your hips pressing down. Lengthen out your exhales. Make sure you're coming all the way to empty. Okay, gently let go of whatever grip you have and let your left leg come down onto the ground. Just land laying on your front for a couple of moments. You can move around and wiggle around a bit if you like. And then lift up into your Sphinx once again. Your forearms to the ground, elbows under your shoulders, chest forward, shoulders back. So you can take that variation with fists if you like, or you can have your hands flat. It's all good. It's a fairly short hold here. We're going to create a little activity. So keeping your chest pulling forward, bend both of your knees and pull your heels in towards your bum. Squeeze your glutes, press the front of your hips down. So super key that your butt isn't lifting up. You want to keep the front of your pelvis planted on your mat. So this is creating strength in your back body to complement the opening in your front body. You got it. 5, stay with it, keep holding. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Gently lower your feet down and lower yourself down. Hands under your shoulders, press up to a tabletop position. And in your tabletop, again, move through a few rounds of cat and cow, plus any other variations that feel good. And then just come to sit onto your heels. You can also use a cushion or a block or something underneath your sitting bones if that feels best for you. Bring your right arm down by your side and tuck your right hand underneath your bum. So you're sitting on your hand. And then sit tall for the breath in and lower your left ear towards your left shoulder. Once you're here, just get some very gentle movement, tilting your chin a little bit forward and back. And it doesn't take a lot of movement. It's just about getting into some different angles as you hold this stretch for the right side of your neck. And then to come out, bring your chin down to center And then your head back up to neutral. Bring your right hand out from underneath you. Left hand underneath your bum, any amount. So this just helps to kind of hold your left shoulder down. Sit tall. Right ear towards your right shoulder. And you can tilt your chin a little bit. And if you find an angle that feels like a particularly good stretch for this side of your neck, maybe hold that for a few moments. Or you can keep that gentle movement the whole way through. Gently bring your chin down towards your chest, and then bring your head back up to neutral. Release your left hand out from underneath. Sit nice and tall here, and then slightly tuck your chin back, kind of like you want to lift up the back surface of your head. Staying kind of back like this, keep your jaw closed, and then lift your chin up. So the key is not jutting your head forward to do this. You want to pull your head back and then lift your chin up. You're just looking for a stretch through the front of your throat. So you can move a little bit here, really small, gentle movement if you are moving. And then gently bring your head to neutral. Shake it out a little, and then swing your legs in front of you. Come to sit. Feet to the floor about hip distance. Reach your arms forward, round your back, and slowly roll yourself down to lay onto your back. So little by little, moment here to create some strength through the front of your body. Once you land, bring your feet mat distance, and then windshield wiper your knees a little side to side. You can turn your head in the opposite direction each time you lower your knees down. And then back at center, knees towards you. For a happy baby, you can hold your shins with your knees wide, or catch your ankles or your feet with your feet facing the ceiling. A little rock side to side might feel good. And do for a moment, just kick one heel out, bend that leg and kick the other heel out. So a little bit of a gentle release through your hamstrings. A couple times on each side there. And then from your happy baby, take one more breath in. It's Shavasana as you breathe out. Take the time you need to set it up so you feel good here. Tuck your shoulder blades underneath you so your palms face up nice and easily. Once you've landed, it may feel nice just to gently rock your head side to side, soften around your neck. And allow yourself just to land into stillness and enjoy your Shavasana. Please do stay as long as you like in your Shavasana. And when you do move, just do so quietly and with awareness. Thank you so much for taking the time to step onto your mat and to be in your body with awareness today. Have an awesome rest of your day. Namaste.